Okay, this is your video for notes for section 7.3. And I want you to look at these different shapes, these polygons, and figure out how you could sort or classify them. There's colors, there's shapes, there's sizes. Today we're going to be looking at classifying, but we're going to be focusing on triangles. So here you should have in your note packet this same page. And I want you to take 3 minutes, and I want you to look at this and memorize it. Look at the acute triangle, obtuse triangle, right triangle, and equiangular triangle. Look at the attributes of each of those that are listed under them. And then look at classifying triangles using their sides, the scalene triangle, isosceles, and equilateral. When you're done studying that, turn this back on. Okay, you should now be ready to classify triangles. So I want you to look at each of these triangles, and we need to classify them by their angles and also by their sides. So first of all, on letter A, there's 3 angles. 2 of them are acute and 1 is obtuse. If you ever have any that are obtuse, remember obtuse is a dominant thing, so this would be an obtuse triangle. We also need to classify it by its side lengths. Now it doesn't tell you the side lengths, but just so you know, anytime the sides are not equal, anytime the angles are not equal, the sides will not be equal. So none of these sides are equal, so we would call this a scalene triangle. I would like you to pause the video now and do letters B and 1 and 2, and go ahead and classify each of those triangles, and when you're done, turn it back on. Okay, letter B, you should have noticed that all of the angles are acute, so this is an acute triangle. And you should have noticed that 2 of the sides are marked the same, so this would be isosceles. So an isosceles, an acute triangle. Number 1 at the bottom, there is one angle that's 90 degrees, and anytime you have a 90-degree angle, you have a right triangle. And you have 2 sides that are marked as equal, so this one would also be isosceles. And finally here, all 3 of my angles are marked the same, so it is acute. And all of the sides are the same, so I would say that it's equilateral. And hopefully you notice that it's equiangular at all, also. Meaning that all the angles are equal. And since they're all equal, you know they would all have to be 60 degrees, because that's the only way it would add up to 180 degrees. So that's classifying triangles. The other thing we need to know how to do in this section is we need to know how to draw triangles. This one asks for us to draw a triangle that measures 30, 60, and 90, and then classify it. So when you start drawing a triangle, step 1 would be to draw a 30-degree angle. So we drew a line, and then we made sure we were in the point in the middle, and we went up to 30 and drew our 30-degree angle. And then here's our 30-degree angle still over here. Notice that the protractor's moved to the other side now, and we're doing the 60-degree angle. So now we come and start with the numbers to the left, and we go up 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, and they connected those as well. Now the third step is sort of optional. It says to show that the measure of the remaining angle is 90, and you can double check it with your protractor like they did right here. If you've done the first 2 right, then the third one will always be correct. So the steps to making a triangle are just to start with an angle, then make the angle on the other side. And it doesn't matter, we could have picked the 90 or the 60 to do there, and then check the third angle. So I'd like you to try one. This one says to draw a triangle. Now this one gives you some different parameters, a 3 centimeter side, a 4 centimeter side, and an angle. They need to meet at an angle that's 20 degrees. It's easiest to do the angle first, okay? So we're going to take our protractor, and you do this with me. Go ahead and draw a straight line. Put a point on the end of it. Line your protractor up with that bottom point. Follow the line out to the side. Follow the protractor out to the side where you have your line. And starting out here, we need to go to 20. So here's 10, here's 20. So I'll come out here and put a dot at 20. And we need to connect those points. So if I connect that, that's my 20-degree angle. Now, the only other things I have are that I need to have 3 centimeters and 4 centimeters. Now, I can't do 3 and 4 centimeters on here. It would be way too small. So I'm going to measure mine out here bigger than 3 centimeters, just so you can see. That would be 4 centimeters. I could do 3 or 4 on top. It wouldn't matter. 1, 2, 3. So if I did it this way, here's 4 and here's 3. That's my triangle. If you had decided To do it the other way, if you did 4 along the bottom and 3 at the top, you would have a different looking triangle. Each of them are correct. So you just need to do your angle first, and then you need to measure the sides. So those are the 2 things we're covering today. I want you to have time to do your homework now. It's on page 286, 3 through 13 all, and then skip and do 21 through 27, and then homework quiz 7.3. And then you will be done with that assignment.